The tomb is open. Are our minds open? Once a king placed a boulder on the middle of the road and waited at a distance to see if anyone would move it out of the way. Many people passed by, walking around it. Some even blamed the king for not maintaining the road, but none of them made an effort to move the boulder out of the way. After a while, a poor peasant came along carrying a load of vegetables. He noticed the boulder on the road, and at once he tried to push the stone out of the road. After much struggle, he succeeded. As he turned around to pick up his vegetables, he noticed a purse lying on the road where the boulder had been. He couldn't believe his eyes. The purse was full of gold coins. There was also a note from King saying that the gold coins were the reward for moving the boulder away. Christ was the treasure hidden by the boulder of Good Friday. On Resurrection Day, that boulder was moved away. The tomb was open. The treasure was standing right in front of the disciples, but they did not recognize him because their minds were still closed. What about our minds? We have been hearing scriptures and stories about Easter events, the stories of Easter eggs, the narratives of a group of disciples and holy women who found the empty tomb, and the Emmaus walk, and many other stories. How do these stories and events of Easter make a difference in our lives? Today's gospel passage urges us to move from the events of the resurrection to the experience of it. The resurrection experience begins by recognizing the presence of Christ among us. Perhaps, like the disciples, we too are overwhelmed by the boulders of fear, confusion, and anxiety which hinder our recognition of Christ. Jesus asked the same question he asked his disciples: "Why are you troubled? And why do questions arise in your hearts?" Dear sisters and brothers, Jesus assures us his presence among us. We experience him when we move the boulders that prevent us from recognizing him out of our way. The disciples' resurrection experience began with a meal shared with Jesus. We too can recognize and feel his wounded side, legs, and hands in the holy Eucharistic meal we receive every day. We can experience the resurrection when we invite Jesus into our family dinner table in prayer. May the risen Lord bless each of us and our families.